Well, this is an exciting press conference. A lot going on today for everybody in the room and the millions who are tuned in on the World Wide Web. We're streaming live today. And so, first of all, big game tomorrow with Bradley at noon. We are asking people in the community to help us help people who are less fortunate than we are by bringing any unused new toiletry items that we're going to distribute at a Thanksgiving meal on Thursday. So we had a great response to that. At our last home game, we're asking the community to rally and really help us out with that community service initiative. So we really will be appreciative of that. So we have that going on. And before we talk about Bradley, who we have tremendous respect for, I'd like to touch on recruiting and allow you to ask any questions you may have there. We released our signing class for 2014, and it was a good one. We're really, really excited about it. You know, as we approach recruiting every year that we're here, we understand the uniqueness of Kentucky and how we do things here, and so we're on the search for the right kind of people. So not only do you have to have a high level of talent, you have to have the desire to be in this atmosphere, in this environment every day where we're really trying to push young women to be their very best. So we're so thrilled with the 4 players that we signed, and I'd be happy to answer any questions on recruiting, if that's okay with you guys, on the format of the press conference. Then we'll move on to Bradley. Can we multitask today? Any questions on recruiting? Okay. Oh.
You obviously needed to fill a need in the post, and you were able to do that, it looks like, with 3 people. And could you just kind of discuss what they're going to bring to the table?
Well, what I really loved about the high school players, Alyssa Rice and Alexis Jennings, is they are very good size, big post players, strong, but have the athleticism and the speed for us to continue to play an up-tempo style. And those are not the easiest players to find. It's really a small group of players each and every year. And so for us to be able to get 2 of them out of the high school ranks really, really helps us a lot. And then Ivana, being a junior college player, having 2 years of college experience under her belt, sometimes you know, that helps a player transition easier into the college game. So I think when you lose really dynamic and productive post players like Samari and Denisha, you needed to make sure we did our best to fill that gap. And it's really fortunate for us that we're able to get 3 players that fit our program, not only off the court with being high character young women, but also on the court. They have the athleticism, the speed, and the skill set to play Kentucky basketball.
What's the story behind how you got the Ivana? Is that how you say it? How did you end up with her? It seemed like she was sort of a late addition, and then kind of what does she bring?
Well, it just, you know, you're always looking at all times for people that will fit. And so Ivana came to our attention and very quickly became a person that we thought was a great fit at Kentucky. And so what I've said many times, it's funny, recruiting now is 365 days a year, and you just have to keep plugging and keep working. And sometimes you recruit a kid from 8th or 9th grade on, and you know she ends up at Kentucky, and sometimes it happens that with different timing, the way that Ivana's did. So it just always on the lookout for the right kind of player and person to help us play championship basketball.
What is it about her that you guys like?
Well, she has great size, really, really tall, but still mobile, not a plodding slow post, really has some great length, can be disruptive around the basket just with her size. But the thing we like most about her is her skill set. Can really run, can catch, great hands, and 15 to 17 foot range that is just knocked down deadly, and we feel like she can make the 3 enough to keep people honest. So really like her size and her speed and her skill set.
you've known for a while what you were going to be losing in this senior class. Did that make this incoming class right now maybe even a little bit more important?
Yeah, you look at Denisha and Samari and what they've become here, and you wanted to try to get some players that could become what they are. And so that's kind of what you look for. And we think that, clearly with Alexis and Alyssa, that they remind me of those two players and what they can do. Alexis can really handle the basketball, and Alyssa can really handle the basketball, sort of like Samari and Denisha. They both have great size. They're both explosive athletes. So that helps a lot. Losing Castine, losing Bernicia, two players who have throughout their career made significant contributions, but both of them have been able to make shots from the perimeter and help us there. And Jaycee is one of the elite level shooters in this class, and what a high character young woman she is. So really excited that we were able to identify some players that can come in and become top-level, top-notch Kentucky basketball players.
With Ivana, just in terms of pure stature and her body type, how many other players have you coached quite like her?
Well, not many. There's not a lot of 6'6" post players out there. So have been around some, and size is and height is something that you're given by God, and you can't coach that. So we were really excited once we got to know her and the kind of person that she is, and I think she has a tremendous potential to have a really good 2 years here at Kentucky.
Any more recruiting questions before we move on to Bradley? Okay.
All right, Bradley is a very impressive team when you put the tape on and start watching them. Some really outstanding guard play. I just was so impressed when I started watching them. Kelsey Budd is their point guard and is a player that really can make all the plays. And as you watch our personnel tape on her, she's able to make all the plays, get to the basket, push it in transition, get to the basket. She's able to make the mid-range jumper. She has deep range from three. And so, they're at 15 points a game. She can really push the ball. And this is interesting. Bradley really pushes the ball. So another team, sort of like Central Michigan, wanted to come in and push the ball. So we've got to be ready in transition defense without a doubt. But their starting five, very, very impressive. We need to do everything we can to make our depth a positive factor in the game for us. And this will be a tough challenge for us tomorrow at noon.
When you look at the numbers in the SEC, you're averaging 95 points a game. Your shooting percentage is nearly 50% and shooting well from three-point range. When you were envisioning this offense in the offseason, did you think it would be this accurate and this effective this quickly?
I just never think in terms of, measuring it statistically. That's one of the things that I'm trying to get better at, using numbers and letting those things help us. But I just my vision was we had some really good players. Let's get them in great shape, great situations, coach them well. And so I just never start the season thinking, well, after 6 games we'll be, doing a certain thing statistically. So I thought in the summer that we had a chance to be a very, very good offensive basketball team because of our depth and because of the skills that our players have. And I just think with our combination of speed, and then we have a really tough post presence at the basket, I have a lot of things going on that we can use to be a good offensive team. I think the key for us really is trying to focus on execution. We had a very great day at Middle Tennessee, made a lot of shots, weren't as sharp execution-wise, made a lot of really just athletic, great plays. in that game, but I thought our execution slipped from some earlier games. So that's going to be the important thing for this team, is to not worry about what you're averaging a game, not worry about what the statistics say. What does the film show? What are we doing from an execution standpoint? And if this team will really focus on offensive execution every day, we're going to be a really, really tough team to beat.
As far as Bria, what have you – she just seems so much more confident in her shot, especially in the last few games. What is it about her that's maybe changed, or is she just grown, as a player? Or?
Yeah, I don't know that I did a great job with her last year, helping her in the season until maybe, the thing that happens when a kid like Bria shows up and she's so mature beyond her years. She showed up and she just really had a great work ethic and did everything that you asked her to do, very little problems. Sometimes I don't do great with those players because SEC Freshman of the Year, great success. I don't know that I did a great job of helping her until it was sort of too late last year and being more aware. In building the program, I've spent a lot of time with the knuckleheads who are, causing all sorts of trouble, and I'm trying to get them fixed and get going. And I think Bria has just benefited from us trying to spend some time with her, define her role more clearly, talking to her and checking in with her, making sure she's doing well and feeling good about things, and taking the time to invest in her. And just being there for her like we would if somebody was messing up or causing trouble. So, I think that Bria deserves all the credit for just being confident because of her work, and not confident or cocky because it's just something she feels. It's based on something solid, and so she's put in a lot of work, a lot of hours. Her attitude's terrific. Her leadership, she's always trying to become a better leader. And so she's a special young woman, and I just think that as coaches, we have to stay in tune with her and make sure that she knows she's doing a good job, and we have to make sure that we're investing time with her. And when we do that, I think we see good results from her.
What did you specifically invest, I guess?
Well, it's nothing major. It's just sitting down before the season and having a one-on-one conversation. And what are your goals? She's very goal-oriented. She's very specific about who she wants to become. And I think people like that need to express themselves, and they need to know that, people are listening. I don't know if other coaches have struggled with that, but it's just something that I've found is that, it's easy to take the really, really good kids for granted at times, and they need as much encouragement and as much, time with them as you do. And if you spend all the time with people who are not trying their hardest, then these people may start to feel like all their hard work's for nothing. So it's nothing major. It's just constantly trying to make sure that we stay connected and checked in with her. And she's doing a terrific job. And I'm so happy when someone works hard like that and they see rewards from that hard work. It makes me very happy for Bria.
I think everyone can kind of see you guys, the transition offense has obviously been a huge thing for you guys, but in the offseason you hired Coach House and you wanted to focus on kind of the half-court offense. How did the team kind of handle that transition, and how have they progressed so far with that?
Well, I think that's been a very good transition because, again, where the improvement has been is in the small details. And so what I love about Jeff and what he was able to bring is he didn't have to worry a second about recruiting the last 5 or 6 years in the WNBA. Everything was just working on, basketball, execution, that kind of things. Player relations, certainly, but the majority of his time was on the finer points and details of, offensive or defensive execution. So offense, defense, just his experience and the things that he's been able to bring to the table really helped our staff who we're college basketball coaches and spend a lot of time recruiting, spend a lot of time with academics, spend a lot of time with different things. And so, and certainly for me as a head coach, good to bring in Coach House, who was able to just help us with some details on things. And I think it's been great. Santos and Pillow have also done a great job with their respective positions and helping us stay focused on the details. And so it's been a really good collaboration amongst the staff to help the players get into positions where they can be more successful.
Hey, Coach, I know you said your execution slipped a little bit in Middle Tennessee. Did you learn anything else about your team on the true road test like that?
Well, I thought that we were able to cover up some mistakes just with effort. It was a really good physical effort now. It was a good physical effort. And what we're trying to do is just marry the mental and the physical together. And if we can get those both working each day in practice and each game, then we'll become our best. I thought the pace allowed us to break out and get out to a lead that was insurmountable for Middle Tennessee. And, you just saw us just stay relentless on the push all day long, and I think it took a toll on Middle Tennessee, and I think it takes a toll on a lot of teams. And so what we're trying to do is become the very best we can be. And the scoreboard is important because you need to win games, there's no doubt, but really for us, I just want to see a maximum effort each game mentally and physically, because I absolutely believe when we do that, we're going to be a tough team to beat.
I'm curious how you viewed your team's decision-making in terms of when to attack and when to pull it out and run half court. Do you have any guidelines in place for how they make those decisions?
Well, it's just repetitions in practice help them make those decisions. We try not to say, here are the rules, 1, 2, 3, 4, and be real specific. So that challenges the players in practice to have more of a feel for when to do what. And so that is a lot of responsibility on players, and that's important for them. And the only way that you get good at that, in my experience, is practice and making sure that mental engagement is there in practice every day, because we're going to give you enough reps where you can get it figured out. So I think at this point they've done a nice job with those things. What's so exciting for me is there's still a lot of room for improvement for this team. And, we certainly know that what the numbers are where they are now because some of the games have been big discrepancies or big disparity in talent. And so that, will start to shrink as we move into conference play, and you'll have to rely on being able to make good decisions and being able to make the right reads. And I think there's a ton of room for improvement for there, and we need to improve because the road just gets tougher and tougher as the farther that we go.
Coach, they still got another game in between, but have you looked into Louisville at all, and how do they play and stuff like that?
I haven't. I have. We'll get on that. It's a very important game, and we'll get on that as soon as the final buzzer sounds tomorrow. But there's not one thought in our mind right now. But Bradley Braves, they are a very dangerous team, very tough team, and more than enough talent to make plays to win the game. So we've got to be focused because we certainly wouldn't want to be getting ready for that game on Sunday coming off of a loss tomorrow. So tomorrow's a very, very important game for us, and we need to be completely locked in and ready for that. We will be.
For sort of feeding on what he said, but 4 of your next 5 are against top 25 teams and big games in December. What do you want to know from this game, or what do you want them to continue to develop from this game to kind of feed into that next group?
You're talking about tomorrow's game? Yeah. I'd like to be able to put on the tape after the game tomorrow and see a very sharp mental focus that leads to great execution, and I'd love to see a supreme Kentucky physical effort. And those two things come together. I think that no matter who the competition is, if those two things come together, then we have a chance to win every game we play, and that's what we're trying to do, is just be our best every day. So tomorrow is very important for us to protect our home court, very important to get another quality win against a team that I think is very, very good. And so when that tape goes on after the game tomorrow, we'll be able to know what kind of mental effort we gave, what kind of physical effort we gave. And you all have been around a long time and watched us. We generally, very, very few times is the physical effort not there. I want to see that mental effort there as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everybody. What a delight. That is. I wish I had time to stay around and listen to it. I'll watch it on playback, though.
You can watch the live stream. Be number 13. I wasn't one of them.
Susan.
Yeah. Not yet. Later.
11:30, right?
He talked about recruiting first. None of which I probably care about.
Think we'll have nasty breakfast tomorrow?
Oh, God.
Is it?
Double the turkey. I'll be asleep by then.
Like the ones like we had last Wednesday, like the staff? Fish Barnhart does it this year than last Wednesday. It's delightful.
No, Dan.
Questions?
Sorry.
Matthew talked about you maybe not getting enough attention last year because you're one of the good kids and not a knucklehead, as he put it. Did you ever feel slighted by the staff, and has anything sort of changed to make you more confident this season, or feel better about yourself this season?
Excuse me. No, it's not like I, was, wanting the attention, or, the coaches aren't noticing I'm doing this, and this. I'm just going out here and playing for my team. They're very supportive. They've always been supportive. I thought they were supportive last year. So he was probably just being harder on himself than I would have given him credit for. But I still felt a big role last year, although, he might not have been encouraging me for like the small things that I do. But over the summer, we worked hard. I was in the office more, just building relationships. There's times where, coach will individually take me out to eat and just talk, and that just, that relates over into the court, and I think that our bond has become stronger.
What's made you better this year, do you think, offensively especially?
Just working on my shot. I just did another little mini workout, full sweat, hard, like breathing, and just being able to get in the gym and that willingness to want to do well for my team. I've always took shots off the court, these past years, but I think really this year I'm just real focused in on, if I don't make this one, I'm going to make the next one. I think that's what helped my confidence.
Bria, where do you think this team is right now? How do you think you're playing?
Individually, he said?
No, just the team in general.
The team is, I think, already further along than last year, and I know you guys probably heard that a lot, but I think that the bond with the team and being able to take criticism from somebody else other than the coaches is just stronger. So I think that comes with off the court activities. We'll all go watch the men's game or go out to eat as much as possible, and just being comfortable around each other, I think, carries over into the court.
You say being able to take criticism from people other than the coaches. Do you guys kind of criticize each other and kind of get on each other when you don't do something right?
Yes. One of the former players, Crystal Riley, brought us all together, and she was like, she needs to see more of that this year. And I know me personally, that's kind of where I struggle with my leadership, is I do a lot of encouraging rather than criticizing. And I think for us to get to the next step, I think I need to take on that role of being the one to say, hey, Denisha, get low, or get that board, or, just, I can't always be the nice person. And I think that I'm a little bit too nice sometimes, but it's just my personality.
Have you actually been able to yell at a teammate this season?
Yes. I have. But it's just said what it said, and they'll react and respond, and then we just move on. And although I'm getting criticized now, I'm still encouraging. And I think that's really important for the team. It can't just always be this, and this. You're like, oh, good job. Like, we're taking strides. I can see improvement, or just doing the little things.
When you look at the numbers for the season, you guys are averaging 95 points a game. You're hitting about 50% from the field. This looks like kind of an offensive power in ways that maybe it didn't sometimes last season. Did the offseason stuff really make that big a difference, or do you think that something else is in play?
This was the first year where the coaches could come in and have those individual practices, and I think that really helped. But also, I saw a lot more people in the gym this summer, and I think that's kind of where it starts, is first getting in the gym, and then we're doing constructive work with the coaches and stuff. So I really think that with more people in the gym getting shots up or working on ball handling or whatever it is, I think that's really coming into play.
I think 5 of your next 6 are against top 25 opponents after this. What do you think you guys need to learn about yourself from this final game before you hit that crazy stretch?
Like you said, those are really good teams, but I think just the main focus now is just Bradley and just taking it one game at a time. And right now, we have a tough team in front of us, and we're going to look at them as the top team in the nation. And so we're just focused on Bradley.
All right, thanks for it.
Thank you.